Hi Jasmine. Okay, I've got your quiz here and let's get started with the first two because that's all to do with area. So the first thing that we need is a graph and it goes from 0 to pi. And so if we start with sine of theta or sine of x, between 0 and pi, it's going to look like it starts at 0, it goes up to 1, and then it comes back down to 0. So it's going to look like that with a maximum height of 1. And then the sine of negative sine x, the graph of negative sine x is just going to be that flipped in the x-axis. It's just a vertical reflection. And so it's going to start at minus 1, and then it's going to go to, it's going to start at 0 and go down to minus 1, and then back up to 0. And so we have this kind of funny shape, almost like a circle, when these guys are joined, and they want the area between. All right, so to find the area of the region, we always take the higher of the two curves and subtract the lower, and our points of intersection are 0 to pi. So we can do this all as one integral. And so we're going to integrate from 0 to pi, and our top function is sine of x, and our bottom function is minus sine of x with respect to x. So what we're actually integrating, if we simplify first, is sine of x plus sine of x which is 2 sine of x, and I can put that 2 out in front, and so it will just become sine of x dx that I'm integrating. And so let's just move this up a bit. All we have to do now is take the integral of sine x, which is going to be negative cos x, and we are going to integrate that over 0 to pi, evaluate that over 0 to pi. So that gives me 2 times, the cos of pi is negative 1, so negative 1 would be positive 1 there. And then the cos of 0 is positive 1, so that would be negative 1. And so evaluating that is just 2 times 2, because this is 1 plus 1 when we take double signs, and that would give us an answer of 4 for the area, okay? All right, now if we were doing the volume, then we're going to use a different formula. So I think I will just make a new page so that we can start that one fresh. Okay, so the first thing they're asking us to do in number 3 is to sketch the solid. And they already stated that we are revolving around the line y equals minus 1. And that's this line here, which also happens to be the minimum point of the graph. And so what we're going to do is take that shape, which is really should be more sort of almost circular. I really didn't do a good job of drawing that at all. I don't think I can erase it either, but it should be more of like of a circular shape, similar, like it's going to match the top shape, right? And so we're going to be rotating it around the line y equals minus 1, and we're trying to figure out the volume for that. And so we need to figure out the radius of revolution. how we're going to do that is we're going to look at the top part of it, and if we're spinning around this line at -1, then before we get to the top, the radius is already 1 plus whatever sine x happens to be at those points as we're moving along, right? So it's changing. And so, don't need that. Oh, can't cross it out either. Okay. So the radius for the outside, we'll call that radius 1, is always going to be 1 plus the value of sine x. And then for the bottom curve, when we're figuring out that radius, we'll call that radius 2. It's 1 minus sine x, because we're already, like, 1 is the whole distance, and then we have to minus whatever sine x is to find the distance from here to here, okay? And so when we're calculating volume, we're going to use the formula pi times the integral of the radius 1 squared minus radius 2 squared dx. And so I won't do the whole thing for you because it is a quiz and I went a little too far on the first one. But all you need to do is work these out by expanding your binomial. And so this is 1 plus sine x times 1 plus sine x. So it would give you 1 plus 2 sine x plus sine squared x. And then the other one is going to give you 1 minus 2 sine x plus sine squared x. And then when you simplify, so here I'll just take you as far as this. You've got 1 minus 2 sine squared x, or sine x, sorry, plus sine squared x. Okay. When we simplify, 1 minus 1 is going to cross out. Sine x minus sine x is going to cross out. And so all we have left is 4 sine x. And we're still integrating. But that's going to be a lot easier to integrate because that's just going to be negative cos of x, right? 4 times the negative cosine of x. And then you can just substitute in your 0 to pi and multiply by pi, and you'll have the volume. So I hope that helps you get started on your quiz.